Hi Hill Avenue, it's Mr. Smith and I want to help you with your English today. So I want you to think about, how do authors choose language to affect the reader? So by the end of today's lesson, I would like you to be able to make the reader have positive feelings towards a setting and negative feelings towards a setting. So we've got two descriptions here. How do they make you feel? Let's read the blue one first. The shelves are a collection of colourful imagination inspirers. The bright colour scheme smiles from the walls. The elegant snow-white beds are a penthouse suite gazing above the land below. How does that description of a setting make you feel? What words make you feel that way? I'll just pause the video and have a think about those things. So, this place seems a good place I'd like to go to. I like the idea of it being colourful. I like the idea of it's going to spark my imagination. It's bright. It smiles at me. Elegant. Penthouse, that means it's going to be the best place. Sweet, who doesn't like sweets? Then we've got the idea of gazing, reminds me of stars. Let's have a look at the next paragraph, see how that makes you feel. The shelves are overloaded with clutter, clinging to the mustard wall. The clashing colours battle for attention, while the claustrophobic beds that are cramped on top of each other are squeezed into sharp corners. How does that make you feel? What words make you feel that way? Again, pause the video and have a think about it. So it makes me think of nasty places, somewhere I wouldn't like to be, somewhere that's suffocating, it's tight. What words make me feel that way? Well, overloaded makes me feel the place is at its limit, it's about to break. Clutter clinging makes me think of a lot of mess kind of stuck into the walls, maybe slipping down it. Mustard, what a horrible sounding colour that is. Then we've got this clashing, battle. So that idea of being at war, again, negative connotations that I like to try and avoid fights. Then we've got this bit, claustrophobic, cramped, squeezed, that idea in a tight, small space. I don't like the idea of that. Then we've got sharp corners. That makes me think of danger. Yeah, lots of negative connotations in that paragraph. So in both those descriptions, I was describing this children's bedroom, but because I wanted to, in one instance, I made it sound heavenly. In another instance, I made it sound like hell, somewhere I'd never like to go. Today, you're going to be describing this setting, this mountain scene. Take a moment to think about it, what you can see, how it makes you feel, how you might go about writing about this picture. We're going to start off by looking at the picture through a noticing lens, so what we can see, and we're going to focus on the mountain. So I've got a simple sentence, there is a mountain, and we're going to make it better. Now to do that, we're going to have a look at a word bank that I've created, and we're going to decide whether these words are positive or negative. So ones that make you feel good, ones that make you feel bad about the setting. So I think the word edge makes me think of, again, sharp edges, being on the top, maybe on the edge of falling off, the edge of breaking down. Cliff, very similar, high up, steep, danger. Now the summit, that makes me think about being at the top, so that's kind of a positive thing. Same with peak. Athletes often talk about being in peak performance. Now crags, that word sounds creepy. It's actually the ridges in a mountain, but it does sound like wrinkles and creases, all those negative connotations associated with that. Precipice, again, word that sounds nice, again, describing the very top of something. A good noun for that. Let's look at the nouns. So we've got nouns to describe the size. Now mountains are generally large, it's part of what they are, part of their definition. Now if we look at the word gargantuan, it sounds quite gross, quite disgusting. It reminds me of like giant spots and ulcers starting to ooze. So I'm putting that over that side, to the negative side. Gigantic makes me think of giants. And again, there's that negative connotation with the idea of the giant crunching your bones. Tremendous. Now that almost sounds like a great party, a great celebration. I often talk about tremendous performance. Again, we've got the word colossal, which makes me think of the Colosseum in Rome. So again, quite a grand building, so that's got a good positive connotation. If we have a look at the colours, so generally white, the mountain. So I've got the word ivory. Now, obviously there's a link there to tusks and elephants, but generally we think about ivory as a positive thing in terms of the colour of ivory white on wedding dresses and things like that. Pearl again is associated as a precious stone. So again, that's got positive connotations. Gum, that makes me think of chewing gum. White, grey, white chewing gum. Ew. Alabaster. Now, this is actually an expensive mineral, but I don't like the word. It sounds clumsy and cumbersome. So I'm going to put that over that side, the negative connotation side. And then I've got the word porcelain, which makes me think of fine china and smooth surfaces. So I'm going to put that on the positive connotation side. So let's see how we can adapt our sentences using our word bank. So the first thing I've got is this sentence. So it's slightly better. So there is a large white peak with snow on the top. So I've got two adjectives in the middle, and I've got a couple of nouns. So it's kind of your basic expanded noun phrase. Expanded noun phrase. Well, let's see if we can make it better. Let's make sure it's got those positive connotations at this point. So let's change the nouns first of all. So peak's quite a good one. What can I change top to? Let's change that to summit. There we go. Then let's have a look at those adjectives, sorry. So let's change large to tremendous. Love that word. And let's change the white to ivory peak, pearl peak. Let's go for ivory peak with pearl snow on the summit. Now that sounds a very positive place to be, somewhere I'd quite like to go. Right, so let's look at that same sentence again, and let's edit it so it's got negative connotations. So again, let's look at changing the noun. So I've got peak, so I'm going to change that to a negative one. So we decided that edge was quite negative. Cliff, I'm going to go for cliff on that one. And let's change top to crags. Just saying it sounds horrible, doesn't it? Right, then let's go for large. So let's go for gargantuan. Alabaster. There is a gargantuan alabaster cliff with snow on the crags. You know what I'm going to put in there? I've got to put in gum. There is a gargantuan alabaster cliff with gum snow on the crags. Certainly wouldn't like to be walking up there. Pause the video and have a go at writing your own positive sentence and your own negative sentence. Right, this time we're going to look at it through a touching lens. Now, I'm going to reveal the word bank, then I'm going to pause the video so you can have a go and see where you think these words lie by yourselves. So first of all, let's look at those nouns around trees. So we've got the word forest, wood, branches, twigs, leaves, roots. Now I've left those all in the middle because for me they're quite neutral words. They've not got any particular positive connotations or any particular negative connotations. So you definitely need to include adjectives when describing them. So let's look at some of the verbs. They're there. So I've put cuddling, holding, sharing, cherishing, or nice touching verbs. Then we've got squeezing, grasping, strangling. They're definitely negative connotations. And then we've got the adverbs at the bottom. So let's just have a quick look at how I've changed the sentence. The forest full of branches gracefully holding each other's leaves. That's my positive sentence. And my negative one, the forest full of branches angrily grasping for domination. Again, pause the video and have a go for yourself at writing your own positive sentence and your own negative sentence. This time, we're looking at through the smelling lens. So again, look at the picture. What kind of smells will you see? Which ones are positive? Which ones are negative? Which ones are going to make the reader feel good? Which ones are going to make the reader feel bad? Again, pause the video. You decide where you think those words go. So I've sorted out the words that I'm going to use into positive and negative. So let's see how that looks in the sentence. The aroma of the air hangs around the lake. So that's quite a positive one. I think maybe I'll change the word hang, because I think that's quite a negative sounding word as well. But I'll let you try and have a go at that. So pause the video, try and come up with your own positive sentence and your own negative sentence. Okay, this time we're looking through the action lens. So we're thinking about what movements, what things are happening in the picture. And we're going to focus on the clouds and how they move through the sky. So I've got that basic sentence, the clouds move through the sky. Again, I've got a word bank for you to sort out. So pause the video, have a look at the words and decide whether they have a positive connotation or a negative connotation. Will they make the reader feel good? Will they make the reader feel bad? So you'll see that I've left some words in the middle because they don't have a positive or negative effect either way. And then I've moved other words to the different areas, so whether they're negative or positive. So let's have a look what I've done with the sentence. The fluffy rose clouds elegantly drifting through the sky. Now, it's a good sentence, but I've started all my sentences so far with a determiner. And I think that needs to change to make my writing a little bit more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this with a fronted verb. So I'm going to take the end part of the sentence, elegantly, move that to the beginning of the sentence. So I need a capital letter for elegantly, a comma, because that's my fronted adverb, elegantly drifting through the clouds. Oh, sorry, elegantly drifting through the sky are the fluffy rose clouds. I need a full stop on the end. Now that's a lovely positive sentence. Again, pause the video and have a go at writing your own positive, negative sentences. So this is my final description with the positive intent of the setting, but I'm still not quite happy with it yet. Some of the sentences don't quite link together properly. So there's a tremendous ivory peak with pearl snow sprinkled on the precipice. The luscious green forest full of delicate branches gracefully holding each other's leaves. It sounds like they're separate. So let's change this bit and put in encompassed at the beginning. Encompassed by a luscious green forest full of delicate branches gracefully holding each other's leaves. And I've got this: the ambience's fresh aroma enhances the lake, elegantly drifting through the sky are fluffy rose clouds. Now I feel those sentences need swapping around. And then I can use a conjunction to join them together. And rather than using an and, I'm going to use wow. The ambience's fresh aroma enhances the lake. Let's just read that back to make sure it makes sense. There's a tremendous ivory peak with pearl snow sprinkled on the precipice, encompassed by a luscious green forest full of delicate branches, gracefully holding each other's leaves. Elegantly drifting through the sky are fluffy rose clouds, while the ambience's fresh aroma enhances the lake. That's definitely a positive place I'd like to go. Would you like to go there? So your challenge now is to pause the video again, write your own positive description of the setting, but then go and write your own scene with a negative intent, your own setting description that's negative, somewhere where you wouldn't want to go. It would be great if you emailed your writing into the school, and if you found the lesson helpful, please let us know. See you soon.